Oh my god, look at it. Yes, I know. Oh my god.
Terrain ahead.
Yes, I know there is. Hello everybody, welcome to Chaz Draycott Media and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today I'm doing just something that's a little bit of fun. This isn't going to be a serious flight, it's not one of my charters, I'm not particularly going anywhere actually. I'm just going to have a bit of fun today. Out there, right now, it is windy as because the UK has been hit by a storm called Storm Eowyn or something, Eowyn. We've got incredible winds that are nearly 100 miles an hour going through the sort of middle of the UK. It's absolutely remarkable. And I want to go play in the wind. So what we're going to do is go to my home base at Manchester. We're going to be flying an Airbus A320, Echo Uniform Whiskey of British Airways. We're going to be starting from about here, gate 41, using real weather, and I'm going to go play in the wind. I'm just going to go do some circuits. It may not be particularly and perfectly to procedure, but I'm just going to go and have some fun. I do a lot of serious flying on Microsoft Flight Sim. I certainly enjoy myself, but I want to just go and have a bit of fun in the wind and see how much trouble I can get in. Just quickly before we get started, let me be that guy and point out that still over 75% of you wonderful viewers are not subscribed to my channel. A YouTube subscription is free, it's a simple click of a button and it helps me out in terms of growing the channel even further, so please consider becoming a subscriber of Chaz Draycott Media today and I would appreciate it immensely. And by trouble, I want to clarify that I will be offline doing this. I'm not going to be online on VATSIM or anything like that. I'm just going to jump in the Phoenix. I've got my TCA controls ready to go. No flight plan, nothing. We're just going to have a bit of fun and see how difficult it is to fly in 50-knot gusting winds. There you go, look, winds are down here at 230 degrees at 54 kilometers an hour. Don't know why it does this sometimes with the IAE version of the A320, but still, let's jump in the cockpit. Let's just have a quick look on the iPad here and just get the METAR. It's got a flight that I was going to do last night to Lille as Ryanair. Let's have a look. Yeah, gusting 39 knots at the moment. 230 at 29, gusting 39. I do actually still need to get my checklist and stuff, bear with. Because obviously, at the end of the day, I still need to be preparing the aircraft and flying the sodding thing. Okay, batteries 1 and 2 on. External power on. APU master switch on. Give it a couple of seconds and then we'll put the APU start switch on. Then APU bleed, crew oxygen supply, adheres to nav 1, 2 and 3. Nav and logo light on, strobe goes on to auto, interior lights now will be alright. Seatbelt signs, nope, no smoking, and arm emergency exits. Landing elevation doesn't need messing with, cabin temp doesn't either. We'll do our fire tests in just a second because as you can hear there's no beeping coming up just yet. Fuel pumps go on the wings. Yeah, then we should be all good. Just need to do fire tests when we hear that initial beep. In terms of the flight plan, we're just going to be going from Manchester to Manchester. That's what we're going to put in there. My friend Dan and I have done a few little circuits and mess-abouts before. Oh, there's that beep. Let's just go up top. Get the APU fire test. Yep, should probably have done that before we started the APU. Just got to be safe. Now there's obviously a limit here of what's going to be simulated and what's going to be just me playing about today. So we're going to go EGCC to EGCC. All good. Flight number, we'll do Speedbird, E for Owen, C for me, 1 Echo Charlie. The cost index we'll just put at 50. And cruise, we're not going to be cruising, so we're not going to put anything in there. The zero fuel weight and the block weight and everything we'll do in a block fuel we'll do in just a sec. Mass and balance, we're going to change, we're not going to load people at all. We're going to, can we change that? Yeah, no packs, no cargo. In terms of fuel, we'll put 5 tons in. So we need to put the departure in and the approach in. Although actually no, we only need to put the approach in, I'm pretty sure. Because we want to put the arrival in at ILS 23 right. Let's just have a look at some stars. Actually, to be honest, no, I don't want to put any stars in or anything like that. So we'll just do that. So it gets us on to CF 23 right and then gets us in. Put the constraints on. The go-around altitude at Manchester is 3,500 feet, so I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be going to 180 knots, and we're going to be going flap 1 for all other circuits. I'm probably going to put it to maybe 200 knots and keep it at flap 1, but yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. Should be quite an easy and straightforward setup, this. We do still need to calculate our takeoff speeds, though, of course. So we need to sync the load sheet, sync the live weather. Flap config will be 1. Let me just make sure that that's recalculated. Yeah. Okay, the takeoff weight, oh, it's maybe not right, actually. Let's just go to init B. It's not got our zero fuel weight in. Zero fuel weight, 44029er. So 44.1. And what's the centre of gravity? 27.8 is that right? Block fuel is 5. Takeoff weight, it's got it in there. Okay, sorry, that took me a second to do then. We're going to put 3,500 feet in here. And then we're going to get our heading all sorted and everything when the IRS aligns in just a minute. So let's now recheck the QNH 985. This should sync up on both sides. It's quite a low QNH. No, of course it's not. Ah, God, that still made me jump. And then we've got to do what Drew does, remember? Pull it to standard, square it up, and push it back in. We'll do that on this side as well. Pull it for standard, square it up. I imagine that's a lot easier and quicker to do in real life. Anyway, we're going to then prepare for pushback and departure. Just got to wait for the ideas to line up. God, you can hear the wind out there. It's absolutely crazy, isn't it? We are putting the seatbelt signs on even though we're not going to need them.
Locking gear.
Okay, cool. So before push, we need the beacon on. Thrust levers are set to idle. Let's get that beacon on. And then we have the parking brake is set, APU and APU bleed on, external power is disconnected, engine mode goes to ignition and starts. It comes up a few times asking if you want to interrupt, but I don't know why. I know the runway course here at Manchester is 232, so for when we put the autopilot in, we're just going to fly 232 degrees. I've probably gone really the wrong way in doing this. 232. Altitude 3.5. Still the ideas to nav have not lined up yet, actually. We've still got 2 minutes for them. To be fair, it's just nice to have a little bit of time to appreciate how pretty the Phoenix A320 is. We're on the IAE engines today as well, so they're going to make a hell of a racket for us. We need that predicted wind shear on, we know that much. Okay, so look, we're going to be going that way out of Manchester, going round and then onto the approach. So we're just going to basically go in the opposite direction to 232. What's 232 minus 180? 52 degrees. So we're just going to turn it to 052. We're going to go to the right when we go round. Usually you should, if you're doing circuits, if you're training somebody, if there's a sort of cadet in the right hand seat, you'd do right hand turns and you do left hand turns if it was for me in the captain's seat. But I just prefer going around to the right hand side. So we're going to go do that. We're going to fly over Manchester. It's probably a little bit irresponsible, but hey, this video is for a bit of fun. So let's just make sure that we are all sorted in terms of perf. Yeah, we have flat 1, flex to temp 70. Cool. What is the wind like outside still? It is gusting 39 knots at the minute. That is very tasty. I've been told it was about 50 knots earlier, but still I don't mind that's the case. Squawking 2000. Let's prepare for pushback and departure, shall we?
Release parking brakes, please.
Shall do.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Okay. Okay, engine ignition to start. And then we'll start engine number 1. Okay, so number 1, I don't know why I asked for pushback in this direction, and number 2, I don't know why those trees are there. It's something that's plagued me at Manchester and at Liverpool as of late. I don't know why they're there. I've turned off the photogrammetry and the Bing map data and all that sort of but it won't go away. I don't know why. Anyway, I'm sure you can appreciate that the engines in this thing make an incredible noise. We put the parking brake on, and now we will start engine number 2. So before taxi, we have the speed brakes armed. We need to make sure the flaps are set to flap 1. APU bleed comes off, and master switch then comes off as well. We need to then put our taxi light on, and we will also set the auto brakes to max. We won't put runway turn-offs on at this point. We'll just take the parking brake off, and we'll get taxiing, shall we? Flipping heck, it's rolling forward well fast. You could tell that it was windy before because of the way that the engines were spinning while we were on the ground and idling. You know, it wasn't even, the engines weren't even on. But then again, the IAE laden A320 always moves very quickly on the ground. And let's not forget as well how light the aircraft is as well today. It doesn't weigh a single thing, so yeah, it's gonna go mighty quickly. It's gonna get off the ground mighty quickly as well. We're set to heading 232. Just gonna try and hit the brakes a little bit. Taxi it around this way. We're going to go left. We're not going to go full length. I think we're going to get on at, I think it's Juliet 1 at Manchester's 23 right. It's a lovely day though, otherwise it's just ridiculously windy. God, we are taxiing so fast here just because it doesn't weigh anything. I mean, we're only doing 20 knots, so it's not so bad. We're not going to go on at this, what are they called? Entry? Exit? Taxiway. We're going to go to the next one. We're doing 24 knots now, so taxiing down mighty quickly. We'll hold short of the runway as well and then make sure we've got everything configured for takeoff before we get moving. 28 knots now. God, it really doesn't weigh anything, does it? Okay, let's get on the brakes and we'll come to a stop just here. This right-hander, is it Mike 1? Yeah, Mike 1 here at Manchester. I thought it was Juliet 1. Okay, so cabin check. We shouldn't really have any cabin crew on board with us at this point. Takeoff config is set to normal. Okay, so before takeoff, initial altitude is set, that's 3,500 feet. Let's press it in on there, see whether it likes it, if I can. No. What did you expect? Predicted wind shear terrain on ND, we may as well put that on because we're going to be quite low and there's a load of hills over there. Auto brake to max, transponder auto or on, altitude reporting, yeah, TCAS, ECAM memo, landing lights, nose light, strobe light and all that needs to come on then as we get onto the runway. Hello darling, bear with me.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
Thank you. Beacon, nav and logo light. Oh, did I not put a nav and logo light on? No, I did. Of course I did. It's me. I love them. Runway turn-offs, they're also going to come on as well while we get onto the runway. Engine mode needs to go back into normal. Forgot about that. Auto brakes off. Auto brake, parking brake off. I'm not touching the throttles. And it's still taxiing faster than a 737. I flew a bit of the 737 yesterday just for a bit of fun, just to get some more practice in it. I was going to do that flight from Manchester to Lille last night, but instead I was streaming Flight Sim to a friend and showing them all the setup and everything and how it works. But I did do Manchester to Glasgow. Got more annoyed at the the LNAV on the 737. I'm going to be flying that a little bit more in some of my charters. There's a couple of them coming up. I'm going to turn on to runway 23 right. I'm so excited to see how sideways we get on takeoff here. A little bit steep on that turn. Can you hear the wind? I've not touched the throttles. That's the wind against the side of the aircraft. Okay, let's power up. It's making a good noise already. Let's pump it. Yes, good stuff. Manflex 70 SRS. Doesn't say runway because I've not put one in the departure. Auto thrust is blue. V1. Rotate. Positive rate of climb gears coming up. Wow. Climbing like a mother. Past S speed, so flaps up. Leave her into climb. Let's ask it for, let's go 200 knots on the speed. I would like 200 knots, please. I would also like to tell you what heading to go to and give me 3,500 feet. Let's go right, add 90 degrees to it, so what's that? 302? No, 312. No, 322. Jesus, my maths is awful. Okay. We are going to stay flat 1 actually, because as you can see here, flat 1 you can do anywhere up to 215 knots or below. It's a lovely windy day. We've got 54 knot headwind already. Set managed speed? No. Okay, then we're going to continue our right hand turn and go to heading 052 because a lot of scrolling. And then we're going to continue our Is it called a base leg when you're going opposite the runway? Even still, we're going to do that thing. Like I said, it's a very, very pretty day, isn't it? I think we're a little bit off on this angle here. Is my maths off? Probably. We don't want to be going 052. We've got a 60 knot tailwind. What is the maths of this? I'm so thick, aren't I? 232 minus 180. 52. So I'm going to allow it to fly in a straight line for a little bit longer. And then we're going to turn over the hills. Once we get past CF23 right, we're then just going to tell it direct CF23 right. Get it all configured for approach. We're going to go to 180 knots. We're going to put the next notch of flaps in, and then we can sort out the landing system. 1095, it's already got in, and it knows the course is 231. Okay, so at CF23 right, you've got to be above 3,500 feet. Obviously the radio altitude is going to get a little bit sketchy here over these hills. But now we're going to tell the aircraft to go... Oh, actually, it wants destination data. Going to tell it to go direct CF23 right. And then we're going to put in the destination data. So the QNH is 985 at the minute. What is the temp at the moment? Temperature is 8. And the winds are currently not so bad. 230 at 27. Maybe all this might be pointless. What are the minimums? Is it 522 at Manchester? God, that's low. What are the minimums at Manchester? Let's check the charts. 449 at Manchester. So we come down here and put in 449. Cool. 180 knots until we get to 6 miles. As per Drew. Seatbelt signs are on. Cabin's ready. Spoilers armed. Spoilers haven't been disarmed, to be honest with you. Flaps then going to go full when we get to the right point. I'll wait for this diamond to come in. Runway is over there on the right hand side. The aircraft's going a little bit sideways because of the wind, so the angle looks all wrong at this present moment. Got 61 knot headwind. The diamond is coming down now on this screen, so we need to click approach, get it ready on the ILS. Cat 3 single, it's got it. Why are we turning around so steep? Oh, you're not sending me all that way back, are you? No, she's going to level out. She's sort of overcompensating a little bit here. Come on, love. We need to be on that ILS. Just about lining up to it. There's the runway. God, the plane isn't enjoying itself. Flipping out. It's in 10 miles out at the moment. QNH is 986 now. That's changed. Put it in on here. 986. Okay, now we're lined up after that very big mess. Look at the direction the aircraft's pointing. God, it's having a right nightmare trying to keep up with this. We've got a 60 knot headwind. Are you alright, plane? There you go, darling. Come on. You've got this. 10 miles to go. Okay, we're on the glide slope now, so we are descending. 600 feet a minute. I've been told that when you don't want to do ILS circuits and rely on the ILS, you just set a vertical speed down at about 500 feet. Just a nice steady speed. And then take the autopilot off when you get a little bit closer in. We're going to bring the gear down. We're then going to go flap 3. The speeding is managed. No. Yes, I know. It's fine. Oh, the aircraft's trying to get us to go to 250 knots because it doesn't have our VAP in, so I'm going to tell it to do, let's do 135. Because it's a bit closer to what our V1 speed was then, at least. Or is it VR speed you're supposed to go for? I can't remember. There's a maths to this. How do you go to previous phases on perf? Interesting how you can't look at the takeoff phase. Actually, we'll still have it on here, won't we? It'll be in here. 140 our VR speed, so we'll put that to 140. Give it a quick... To be fair, the aircraft isn't pointing too far over to the right. The wind is actually almost directly ahead of us. We've got a 54 knot headwind at the moment. I mean, the aircraft feels like it's just floating in the air and barely moving anywhere. I wonder if I take the autopilot out now, what it's going to be like. Let's see. I mean, the Airbus is usually that stable an aircraft anyway, it's easy to fly, so this may not end up being that chaotic or entertaining. It's when we get lower down to the ground that it's going to really start lobbing me about, isn't it? Because like I say, that wind, it's 50 knots, it's basically directly in front of us. Oh no, I don't want to put the autopilot in. Yes, I've already clicked you. It's moving around a little bit, but barely anything. The wind is coming down now, 48 knots. A little bit below that glide slope. It's good practice though to be doing stuff like this. You can change the weather and we can up the wind, so if this isn't a challenge enough, we can take it off real weather and just up the wind to something absolutely stupid. And we'll have it completely across the runway as well. We'll have some fun with it. We're actually having to point the nose pretty much at the horizon here to bring it down because there's that much wind and that much gust towards us. Obviously the aircraft is generating a load of lift with those flaps. Let's go flap 3. What does flap 3 do?
1,000.
Oh. I need to point the nose up much higher. It's probably a stupid thing to change when you're on approach, really, isn't it? But yeah, this wind is just directly a headwind at this point. Now you can change the weather on the fly in Microsoft Flight Simulator, so when we get up in the air again after this touch and go, I'm going to up the wind and make it a little bit more spicy, put it across the runway because it's coming right towards us. Look at that arrow there. It's pointing right at us. So we've got a headwind.
500.
If anything, that's just helping us. It's absolutely helping us. This is easy. I don't know what all the fuss is about. I'm not going to end up in that car park.
100 above. Minimum.
Continue.
Flight slow.
Oh, we've gone a little bit low.
Flight slow.
Yeah, shut up.
Flight slow.
Shut up. You clown. What do you know?
Flight
50.
slow.
40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Nice. Back onto Manflex MCT. We're going to get a warning for takeoff config. Lever it to climb. Should probably have put it in toga, to be honest. But it is what it is. Flat 1. Easy. Okay. Let's play. So let's go to weather. Let's go add wind layer. So ground level. How do we do this? Okay. 2,000 meters. So let's add some ridiculous wind in. This is clever. I've never played with this. North, because the runway's like this. Speed. What's 5 meters a second like? Yeah? Does that work? Gust from that way. 8 meters a second. Oh, does that tell you? Oh yeah, look at this. Let's go proper mental. Whoa, my God, we're in a tornado. We're going sideways. Let's sort the angle out of this. Let's go 322. I went a little bit hard on that then, didn't I? Let's get 322. So what is it? 28, 24, gusting 48. The plane is literally spinning. So winds are 30, gusting 50 odd. Yeah, let's do that. Ridiculous, ridiculous winds. So we've got a 75, 80 knot headwind. The aircraft is trying so hard to stay in the sky. I'm probably going to end up crashing this, I'm just going to tell you. Alright, let's go 052 on the heading. See how the aircraft struggles to do this. So the gust, is that how much it adds on top? Because if so, then I don't want to do that. No! No, it's gotten rid of it. There we go. Hurt me. From that direction. Oh my God, please plane. Why is it so fast? We're just flying sideways. See, winds on the ground are 10, it's only 26 knots across. What are you moaning about? I'm just looking at this little number here. You see it on the screen there? Just looking at that when I'm playing with this. It's the gusting that we turn up and that sends it haywire. Okay, let's do it at that. That's roughly where we wanted it. So let's go left a little bit then. Because look at where the aircraft's actually going. We've actually pretty much gone. Let me go outside. That might have something to do with it. I bet you've been screaming at me, haven't you? For so long. Okay. That might help. What I'm going to do is fly the aircraft in this direction, try and get to that, and then we'll turn it in and I'll fly it in. I'll try and hand fly it in. Yeah? You know what, actually? We'll turn it round now on flat 1, 200 knots. Let's go to 180 knots. I'm going to hand fly this now and bring it in. It feels so weird. Trying not to descend too quickly. We want landing system on. We're way above anything. We're way above like an ILS and all that. God, the aircraft is overspeeding like crazy because of that tailwind. I need to bring flaps up here. We're going to overspeed.
2,500.
Oh my God, look at it. Yes, I know. Oh my God.
Terrain ahead.
Yes, I know there is.
Terrain ahead.
I know there is. Thanks. Okay, let's try and level it out. Whoa, we're descending. I should have gone further out. Right, there's the airport. Okay, right, if I try and straighten up the aircraft now, so we're pointing at the airport. What I should have done is keep the autopilot in. Oh no. Get the aircraft to go that way. We've missed the ILS and the glide slope, but we'll get the aircraft to go this way, and then I'll take the autopilot out and I'll try and land it in from this stupid angle. Yeah? Okay, so we're less than 6 miles out. Let's ask it for 140 knots. Flap 1. Flap 2. Flaps are moving. Gonna go gear now. Taking the autopilot out. Then we're going to go flap 3, then we're going to go flap full. I'm so scared for when I turn now because this is just going to send me... I mean, look at that. It's completely sideways. Thank God for the auto throttle, otherwise I would be going everywhere. That tailwind earlier was horrific. I think for the next turn that we do, in the next spin, we're going to... Hang on. We're going to do a left-hand turn because at least that way when I'm turning towards the approach then, I'm facing into the wind. Okay, so I need to line that green line up with the runway. Oh my days.
100 above.
We descended a little bit too quickly.
Minimum.
Continue. Because why not? This is more like it, 52 knots. Whoa. Whoa.
500.
Yeah, I know. I'm well too high.
Sink rate.
Yeah, I know. It's fine.
Pull up.
Shut up.
Pull up.
Yeah, shut up. I'm playing.
100.
Woo-hoo. Come on.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Oh.
5.
Ooh, straight into Toga. Yep. Oh my days, bruv. Positive rate gear up. Okay. Flaps up. We're gonna go flap 1. Levering to climb. Gonna ask it for 200 knots. Gonna ask it for 3,500 feet. And we're going to make a left turn. Look at how sideways she is. Good God. Come on. You're overspeeding, love. Why is the speed not coming to me? Do I have to take auto throttle out and then back in again or what? Oh my God. This is great fun. Like I said, I don't want to do this online and ruin anyone's day, but this is really good fun. Oh, stop it. I'm going to go 052. I mean, that's where the aircraft's going to point. It's necessarily not going to go in that direction. It's windy, isn't it? 58 knot tailwind at 3,500 feet. Look how unnatural that movement is. We're facing 052, but we're actually heading to 070. Look, we're going that way. Right, so I need to compensate for about 15 degrees. Maybe 20 degrees. Let's go 032. So we're flying in a parallel line to the runway, while the runway is there. Like, that's nuts. There's Woodford. That's now a museum, actually, for Avro. I believe this bit is, anyway. They've been building a housing estate on there, which is a massive shame. Woodford Airshow used to be one of the very best in the UK, and now it's a housing estate, as is the world. Okay, I'm just going to add a few more degrees to that, just to make sure that we're definitely staying a decent distance away from these waypoints. It's absolutely mad how much this is moving around. It's a shame that the actual real weather of stormy wasn't that strong, but at least it's good fun that you can, you know, add wind in like this into the sim itself. That's like make the visibility absolutely shoddy. Bring a load of cloud down. Oh, there's no cloud, is there? Why can't we add more cloud in? Ah, there we go. Ah, okay. So you have to really move the scroller up. Oh, ho. Okay, so we've added a real amount of cloud in. So not only is it windy, now we can't see. I've made it a bit prettier. I've added in a little bit more scatter to it, but we are still going very, very sideways. Let me go into like the chase cam thing and show you that. So there you go. This is officially the sort of chase cam on Microsoft Flight Simulator, and we are very, very sideways. Look at it moving around as well in shot. It really does show you though, doesn't it? It's remarkable what aircraft can fly in, what conditions they can put up with, you know. It's pretty epic. Okay, let's go direct CF23 right. Why is it doing that bit? I don't want to do that bit. That's CF204 thing. Just get rid of that. Did it. So it should. Yeah, it's going to curve us around that way. 55 knot headwind is lovely, but look at the difference between that diamond and that yellow line now. It's only going to get bigger as the wind pushes the aircraft away from actually where it's headed. Not sure that adding the cloud in has actually done that much, to be honest, but we're going to leave it. I don't want to mess with it anymore. We're now going to hit approach. There we go, Cat 3 single, glide slope and localizer ready. Going to tell the aircraft 180 knots rather than 190. Flap 1 is in. Ooh, it hasn't intercepted the glide slope just yet. It might do it a little bit late and then catch up with it, but it's not intercepted it just yet. I think it's because it's not got it laterally yet, so we're not on the right path. There we go, glide slope and localizer, and the aircraft is now dipping. Whoa, we just got there. So this is the mad thing. We're actually heading pretty much towards the airport right now, but we are facing over there. The airport is there. We're going to leave it at 180 knots until 5 miles, not just 6 miles. The aircraft is actually having to keep up a lot of speed here. We're at 200 knots. If I bring that down now to 140, bring more flap in, we'll go flap 2. It's going to overspeed the flaps now. We'll get a little warning for maybe just a second. Flipping heck, it's having to really fight it. There we go, the speed's dropping consistently now. Bring the gear down. This is good fun, this. If you're ever scared of flying and when you go away on holiday or whatever, and you worry about what the aircraft and the people behind the controls can do, I mean, you know, this, sure, it's only a sim, but the aircraft can happily fly like this. It's incredible. We're now 25 degrees away from where we're actually going to land. Oh my god. Got to follow that glide slope until minimums, that's when I'm going to take it out. Oh my Christ, look at this. This is absolutely mental. Autopilot's coming out. I know I'm doing it on there and you shouldn't do it on there, but if I press the button on my stick... Shut up. If I press the button on my stick, it puts both of them on, then both of them off. It's really weird. Sideways as hell. It's only the last moments that really matter though. It's not too hard to manage at this stage. The flight director knows where it needs to be. Pointing the nose down here because we're a little bit high.
500.
It's so weird. Like, I'm not turning my head or anything. Like, I'm still looking at the screen, but I feel like I'm turning my head that way to look at where I'm going. Now, the difficult bit about doing this is that the wind dies down the lower you get, so you have to continually adjust and fix where the aircraft's pointing.
$100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Whoa, the tyres won't like me for that one. Straight to Toga, rudder is full left. Oh, that's not V1 speed, Chaz. Come on, focus. Gear up. Flaps going to 1. Going to ask the aircraft for 200 knots. We're going to ask it for 3,500 feet, put the autopilot in. Whoa, 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 whoa. A little bit of drama, but it's alright. I'm going to go for heading 142 just for a left turn for a second. Actually, no, we're going to just keep going this way. We'll ask it for 200 knots. I'm going to go flat 1. And we'll go back around. Okay, I'm going to make this circuit a much shorter one this time, so I'm going to take over the aircraft and I'm going to try and fly it in and line it up with the runway when we get onto the approach. So let me just put the destination, where do we put that back in? Let's put CF23 right in. And then, what is it, how do you put it in? EG, oh no, CC23 right. There we go. Runway is just over there. So I'm not going to quite turn it in just yet. I'm going to wait a little bit of time yet, because this thing is sideways. Oh, you know what, stuff it. Let's make this a good one. Shut up. Okay, so we've got the auto throttle in. We're going to do 180 knots. Going to bring it 180 knots, flap 2. Going to try and keep the height level, which is difficult, because we're suddenly now turning into a 60 knot headwind, which is obviously going to slow the aircraft down. Climbing a little bit. Let's just dip the nose down slightly. Thank you. We're actually now going in the direction that we're facing, which is a miracle. Now we're coming across it. So you can see that green diamond is getting further and further away from that yellow line. So I need to now straighten up, because otherwise I'm just going to float towards the runway. Yeah, I'm headed at the runway right now, so I need to turn right. And also descend. Okay, 140 knots please, plane. Bring the gear down. That should help slow her down. Don't forget, this is all just in the interests of fun, everybody. This is just a laugh. Don't hate me for doing anything like this wrong. Don't sit in the comments saying, oh, you should have done this or you should have done that. This is just for a laugh. Remember that, you've got to have fun with these things sometimes. And I'm having fun. It's stressful fun. It's oddly stressful fun. We're aiming for that there. It's behind this bloody pillar. There. Just in case that wasn't, you know, obvious where we're going. I've definitely come at this from the wrong side, haven't I? This feels weird, no hands on the controls. It's just floating. We are going to land it this time though. We're going to go auto brakes medium. Ground spoilers are armed. We are going to bring it to a stop. I've been doing this for over an hour now, an hour and 10 minutes, and I've only done a couple, but I'll tell you what, it's funny, isn't it? Come on, get down. We're well high.
1,000. Minimum.
Continue, I guess. Pick the nose up there just to bring the aircraft in. Whoa. We're well off at the moment.
500.
So you know what? I think we're doing all right. We're going to get a glide slope warning. Actually, no, because we're not on the ILS, so it doesn't know. Come on, make it a good one. Yeah, you shut up. What do you know?
100. 15, 40, 30, 20, retard, 10, 5,
Oh, that wasn't bad, was it? Reverse is coming in. Oh, it won't turn. It won't turn. It won't turn. It won't turn. Reverse is stowed. Manual braking. Hilarious. Hilarious fun. Absolutely hilarious fun. Well, Storm Eowyn wasn't quite as potent in the sim as we'd hoped, but luckily here on Flight Simulator you can always spice things up with a bit of wind and make it absolutely ridiculous. As I've said though, this was all just in the interest of a bit of fun while it's very stormy here in the UK at the moment, and I hope you've enjoyed this little bit more of a relaxed video from me for once as opposed to doing a proper serious flight. You too can obviously just go and play in the wind if you want to. I just thought it was a little bit more fitting today with it being Storm Eowyn. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video all the same, and I hope you didn't take it too seriously, much like I didn't anyway. But thanks as always for watching everybody, really appreciate you all, and I'll see you again in the next episode.